Hello and welcome. Let me show you the build and then I'll explain why it's so good. So we've got a weapon, Seal for faith spells, incantations. Crucible Knight's Armor is the best one to aim for, but you could also go with Knight's Armor or mix them up. Then we just got some really defensive talismans in here, and a seed talisman so your flasks heal better. And then the second talisman here, you can make it any resistance talisman you want, or the Old Lord's talisman, which will make your buffs last for longer. Then we've got really good flask, which is a goal, boiled crab. And here we have Opaline's hard tier, and our crystal for a crystal tier. And then I have the faith knot tier, just because that lets us get up to 30 faith, which is the goal for this build. So we're at 20 faith right now, we're at level 70. Vagabond is going to be really good for this build. You get to 50 vigor, 20 faith, try to get that up to 30 faith, and then pump a lot into endurance as well so you can have better armor. But that's not really required by any means. Now you can see in this battle here, this build just refuses to die. The setup is really simple too. You just do Wondrous Flask, and then Golden Vow, and then Black Flame Protection. The Black Flame Protection gives you, I think, 30% defense. Golden Vow gives you 10% defense. So those are just going to be really good. You can see how little damage I'm taking from the boss here. So let me explain now why this is such a good build for practicing and what the ultimate goal actually is for practicing. So I think the main problem with practice for beginner players or like beginner intermediate players is they get to the boss, right? And they go and fight it, and then they die in 30 seconds, then through all the loading screens and the running back to the boss is 2 minutes long, and then they die in 30 seconds again, and then it's 2 minutes to get back, and then maybe they die in 40 seconds, 50 seconds, and it's like, and it's even worse when the boss has a second phase, because then by the time you finally get to the second phase, and then there's like all these new dangerous attacks, and you're just dying really fast all over again, you have to get all the way back to the second phase just to try to learn how to dodge. So what you're actually going to want to do with this build is get long boss battles. Don't upgrade your weapon to be all crazy damage. I think you just want to choose the weapon class that you want to practice with, and go ahead and just, you know, buff it up to the point that you want. Maybe that's +0, maybe that's +10, maybe that's +20 or +25. It's up to you how hard you want to challenge yourself against the boss. And then you just want to focus on dodging, right? You want to do the opposite of what I'm doing in this fight, which is just... I'm just trying to show off how tanky the build is, right? But what you actually want to do is just work on dodging the best you can, staying alive, and looking for openings, kind of like figuring out openings, optimizing your openings, and, you know, gradually just figure out the boss. And you can see this is one of the highest damaging attacks in the entire game, and I still survived it. Now, when you use Black Flame Protection at the beginning, don't use Boiled Crab, because only one buff can actually be active at a time, and if you use Boiled Crab, it will overwrite the Black Flame Protection. So the Boiled Crab actually serves a very important purpose, though. Once the Black Flame Protection runs out, go ahead and use the Boiled Crab to get not quite as good as Black Flame Protection, but almost as good. You're going to get 20% physical damage negation from that, so it's going to serve you very well. Of course, you could try to reapply the Golden Vow and the Black Flame Protection if you have enough faith to do it. You know, if I was level 80, I could go ahead and have 30 faith here. And that's the other thing, you don't need like strength, dex, and you can kind of like ignore those stats mostly, because, you know, going high damage is not your goal. Spending time with the boss is your goal with this build. That's how you're gonna get better. And it's pretty easy to get up to this level in new game, right? 70, 80 is pretty dang reasonable. Going to like 120, you start to have to really grind for that. So you can see this build can be done early. And yeah, that's the build. And or you could use a mod to just go to the bosses for free, but not everyone can do that anyway.